Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? If you tuned in today, then you already know what to expect, man. By the title and thumbnail, you already know what we finna get into. So I don't think I got to do too much explaining, man. It's finna get lit and it's finna get live. So make sure if y'all enjoy this video that you give this video a huge thumbs up, man. Remember, the more likes that this video get, the higher that it will rank. And right now, we on the road to 1 million subscribers. We on the road to 1 million supporters. I don't even think y'all understand right now. So if you're not subscribed, I don't care if you already subscribed, make 1,000 accounts and make sure to turn on post notifications on when you hit that subscribe button to get notified when I post another video, or personally, like the subscribe won't count. But I hope that you all enjoys today's episode, man, because we finna get live, we finna get lit. I just want to tell y'all once again, thanks for the continued support. If y'all see the boy just had to change the rag today, man. It's pretty cold outside, snowing outside where I'm at right now, man. So make sure that y'all tune in. Let's get it. Let's go.
2025. Not only America, but the entire planet.
Yo, check this shit out.
Under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance. The gains have been substantial.
Listen.
Both for ourselves and for you, the human power elite.
Remember when this movie came out in 89? 89 this movie came out. Look at this shit. Listen.
You have given us entree to the resources we need in our ongoing quest for multidimensional expansion. And in return, the per capita income of each of you here tonight has grown, in this year alone, by an average 39%. And I've just received word that our forces have won a major victory. The underground terrorist network has been destroyed here on the West Coast. We are off crisis alert. The situation is normal again. 2025.
Wow. In 2025, right? I just looked up something where it's so weird, but just, I think it was yesterday or this morning. I'm going to try to show the article for y'all. Y'all probably watching this on a totally entire different day, but they just exposed that the government just exposed that. So here we go right here. U.S. judge orders more than 170 Jeffrey Epstein associates to be released. I guess y'all can pause it and read it yourself. Yeah, I can pause that and read it yourself. So basically, the stuff that happened with Jeffrey Epstein is people saying, oh, he passed away. Or they trying to say it was, he put harm onto himself, when I feel like he was facing federal charges. He was finna start speaking. He was finna start telling all, like, if y'all don't get me out of here, I'm finna tell everything. And it kind of remind me of that movie, The Commuter, high-ranking individuals who are doing certain type of things. You get what I'm saying? But when they go to jail, they are liable to mess up the whole ring. So instead of them messing it up and going public, they just off them and label it like they harm themselves. But I feel like that's not the case. I feel like that he was going to expose everything that he was up to and everybody that was around it, but they got him up out of here so he couldn't talk too much.
In modern Jewish history, and it begins with 3 words: Dear Lord Rothchild.
Dear Lord Rothchild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet.
Why was it that this letter was sent by the Foreign Secretary to your great-uncle Walter?
It's an interesting question because it was primarily a movement from Eastern Europe, but they didn't clarify who was in charge of that movement, and in addition, it was after all in Great Britain. So they felt that the Rothschild family should be the one to whom it was addressed. And Walter was Lord Rothschild, and he was a Zionist. And those really are the background reasons.
So Walter received the Balfour Declaration, and I have a copy here. And I wonder if I could possibly ask you to read it for us.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I'm going to put on my spectacles to make sure I read it accurately. His Majesty's government view with favour the establishment of Palestine as a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object.
In modern Jewish history.
Can anybody translate, man? Because I be feeling like sometimes I be getting lost when I be hearing this old English.
Here in law enforcement, I actually joined the Brotherhood of Freemasons. Man, you know, a lot of cops are involved with that. Really? Oh, yeah. It's a thing that I'm not saying you must do, but 95% of them do. You know what I mean?
This actually exists.
Yes, it does. It's a cult. It's nothing to be messing with.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you straight up.
You ever get that far?
Oh, yeah, I became a master mason. Okay. I mean, the highest you can go is 33rd. But even at 32nd, see, from the ranks of 30th to 33, which is 3, that's when they divulge the actual truth to you.
I got you.
You know, because in order for you to be a Shriner, you got to be a Mason. For order you be a Knights Templar, you got to be a Mason. And the more you go up in that pyramid, and the highest you could go is a Rothchild.
Right.
They're the highest of the highest.
Really?
Yeah, they're the satanic children of Satan.
Wow.
They actually sit on a table and they have a special chair for Satan right there. And he comes and talks to these family members, and they're the ones that the shaking and bakers, I call it.
Now, this all has to do also with the those people who go out into the wood and they burn that wooden owl and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you talking about those the Illuminati?
Illuminati, okay. So
right.
This has to do with those.
Oh yeah, you have to be a Freemason to be that. All the presidents were Freemasons. A small portion weren't, but they were Jesuits. This is the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, even the Pope. Everything is controlled by the white and black Pope.
Yeah.
So black and white, which is white and black tiles, is where we have our temple. We are in law enforcement.
Hold on. Wait. I could have sworn just the levels that he was talking about, like the highs. I could have sworn there was way more high levels than that. They really wasn't called with each. I don't know. How about this? Y'all let me know down below if everything he was saying was true. Because I don't think 95% of the officers is Masons. I don't, but I could be wrong. But I feel like he had a lot of loopholes in his story. You know, I think he definitely had a lot of loopholes in his story. I could be wrong, but y'all correct me if I'm not the only one that's looking at that kind of iffy.
Started here, and then he flew and curved down this way.
Maybe I just see it.
I got just the beginning of it. Oh, here's another one right here. You see him? Flying right over our heads.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy.
Pointing it right at him.
Oh, that's crazy.
And now he's turning.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Flashed.
Yeah, you see him?
Yeah, it just flashed.
I'm lasering or at him, and he's curving. Shit. Started here, and then he flew and curved down this way. I got just the beginning of it. Oh, here's another one right here. You see him? Flying right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Flashed.
Yeah, you see him?
Yeah, it just flashed.
So what's crazy is I'm looking right here in the article, and a guy basically saying like that this is false. You know, he's saying that this was my aircraft, and this guy actually ruined my cameras. If you guys don't know, yes, if you point lasers at very high-end cameras, that it will destroy and fry the camera. Really a federal crime. That's why they don't be playing that when you're trying to point lasers, high beam lasers at aircrafts. Like, you will really face federal charges for that. But at least they, you know, denied this and didn't confirm it. But if that was real, that'd go crazy.
You cannot make this shit up. Like, you can't. Lo and behold, just 9 hours ago, there was an announcement made about a new movie called Civil War coming out. And I know what you're thinking. Why should we give a shit? Why should we care? What are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. It's because literally the last 48 hours, there have been so many events that have directly correlated with this movie that I find it very hard to believe that people are still saying it's BS. I shit you not. Leave the World Behind on Netflix was just released December 8th. And here we are a couple of days later, and everything in that movie that quote unquote talked about how the apocalypse was actually a civil war and the steps leading up to it has already happened. Not only was was the timeline given in this movie, Winter Solstice, which is literally the beginning of December all the way up until around the end. And we haven't even made it past a couple days, and we have already seen most of the things, which I'm going to show you the movie says leads up to what they think is the apocalypse. This movie being released called Civil War talks about a civil war breaking out in Texas, and Texas going up against the U.S. with guns and basically turning into a massive civil war. But what really boggles my brain is the opening scene in the movie Civil War that comes out in 2024 is also the closing scene for freaking Leave the World Behind. And Leave the World Behind, the city that all this was centered around was Manhattan, New York. Yeah, that's exactly where this film starts, the Civil War film. Not only that, let's get into the actual events that directly correlate with what's been going on. First off, if y'all want to go see the trailer for the Civil War movie that's coming out next year in 2024, I suggest everyone go watch it, because it's crazy how now apocalyptic scenarios are getting really, really real. It used to be zombies. It's not zombies anymore, guys. It's literally real world events. But you can go watch it because I can't post it on here. I don't want to get in trouble for copyright infringement. But yeah, so let's get into it. This is why I say that whole Civil War movie plot is crazy, because it starts off in Texas no longer being a part of the U.S. and going up against them. And little do a lot of people know that Texas goes to vote to leave the U.S. next year.
Cap.
So this movie literally is giving foreshadowing.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't doubt it. And if you don't believe me, here's the latest news article. This one came out December 1st. But the one that I'm talking about, where they're saying they are actually getting one step closer to voting next year on Texas leaving the U.S., that was on the radio this morning. And in the movie Leave the World Behind, do you guys remember when no one knew what was going on because they had no communication with their satellites, they couldn't do any internet, and they couldn't communicate with each other because their phones weren't working, and then all of a sudden they got these CBS News articles in this movie, and they disappeared? Yeah, look what just happened 2 days ago, i.e. the Washington Post. I can't say it because I don't want to get my account banned. I'm already in a little bit of trouble for other creators stealing my information and posting it. But yeah, read that and tell me that did not happen in Leave the World Behind, the movie. Also have to somewhat block this news article because, again, I don't want to get banned. But yeah, you remember those red leaflets in the movie Leave the World Behind that were dropped and only the son knew what they were because he played games, and everybody was like, well, why would this be here? They don't even belong here. That's a whole nother country. Yeah, that already happened the day before the movie was dropped, as well as recently. I just couldn't find anything on the ones that were dropped recently that caused a lot of confusion to the people in, you know, where. Yeah, so coincidence? I think not. Then in the movie, you also have all of those Tesla Model 3s that were on autopilot that drove themselves into each other to literally block any roads in and out of Manhattan to the inner city of New York. Oh, and what just happened 6 hours ago? 2 million Teslas were recalled because of autopilot issues. In other words, the things that will let the cars drive by themselves. 6 hours ago. You cannot make this up. Boom. Now we have Kirsten Dunst coming out with this movie in 2024 called Civil War that initiates in Texas. The same thing that the other movie that people are calling predictive programming said would happen. Y'all think this is a coincidence?
Nah, that's gonna be crazy.
I don't care what nobody say. No one's fear-mongering. No one cares to even instill fear on anyone. It's honestly just educating. You can educate yourself, and if something scares you, it should give you a thirst for knowledge. Simple enough. I'm not saying anything else about it. I promise this will probably be my last video on this because I don't want to get a lot of hate. But yes, it's suspicious.
It is very suspicious that a lot of things are happening that happened. A lot of things that happened in that movie is happening, and then one thing in a new movie, like a trailer that talks about the Civil War in 26. I mean, that's releasing in April. I think it was 24th or something like that. And the trailer talks about Texas, the reason they got to fight because of Texas wanting to leave. And they just announced that Texas is going to have a vote to leave the U.S. That is crazy. That is crazy. Is she just deceiving us, or is she speaking facts, y'all?
Andrew, what conspiracy do you know of?
So conspiracy theory that I know of, and we proved it before, was the timing of stoplights in like the hood versus the nice area.
Oh, speak on it, my man.
So back in the day, my boy, when we were doing our thing out there, he used to always throw it out there like, yeah, like when you're driving through like the hood, the stoplights are a lot slower. You'll be there for 2-3 minutes, and it's used for the cops to catch you slipping. Right. And then if you go through like the nice neighborhood, the sensor works. As soon as you pull up, you're there 5-10 seconds, and you're gone.
Man.
So yeah,
hey,
it was
man.
something we noticed growing up.
Let me tell you, and let me ask you this. So you and your homies noticed that, or had you heard that before, or had you heard it since then, Andrew?
So my boy, he used to throw it out there, and we kind of look at him like he's just older. He's kind of tripping.
Because let me tell you, man, I've heard of that. Really? I've heard of that, man.
It's real. Like growing up, we used to think he was crazy, and then we'd be driving through like friends. I grew up in the IE, so we'd be driving through like San Bernardino versus like Rancho.
San Bernardino. Yeah.
You be at the light for 3-4 minutes, and all the time you see them pull up on you, and they pull you over.
And
but
Andrew, you try.
Out in 10 seconds.
You try everything, bro. Like Jose was saying, you flip the lights.
I do that. I still do that.
Andrew, what
flick the lights. I used to do that too. I used to flick the lights just to see if they could figure it out. But I don't think it's possibly true because it's kind of backwards. When I'm in the city, I really don't even think I stop at red lights when I know I'm in the area that's potentially high in the rate of crime, but we have any traffic service technicians who work on lights and things like that can kind of confirm or deny this down below. I feel like this is just something a little playful, feel like, us growing up, you just growing up and being in the area like that is as long as, it could just come to mind. But other than that, I don't think it's nothing true, if that makes sense. It's just probably coincidences. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna let y'all hear it. Can I let y'all hear it? Y'all listen.
666. Murder, Jesus.
666. Murder, Jesus. This made you feel kind of funny, didn't it? It's unbelievable. I'm gonna let y'all hear it. Can I let y'all hear it? Y'all listen.
666.
Okay, I think it's just refreshed. Yeah, it just refreshed. It's just they're trying to say that is a Jay-Z song.
Begin with that breaking headline today, a Michigan doctor sentenced, being called a monster. A day of reckoning for the doctor who diagnosed hundreds of patients with cancer when they did not have it. Outside the court, the tears and anger. He lied to so many patients, giving many of them extensive chemotherapy, which then made them sick.
Right.
So many of those families today coming face to face with the doctor as he was sentenced to 45 years behind bars. And you're about to hear what the doctor said to those families. ABC's Ron Claiborne leads us off.
Judgment Day for the doctor who caused so much pain. Victims of Dr. Fareed Fata outside the courtroom where he was sentenced, hand in hand, then defiant.
45 years for the lives that he took. It just wasn't enough.
In court, the 50-year-old doctor breaking down, saying, I misused my talents, yes, and permitted this sin to enter me because of power and greed. But those words no comfort for Cheryl Blades.
I could hear him talking to my mother because I went to every appointment. So I could hear him talking to her and promising her to save her.
In all, Fata pleaded guilty to intentionally misdiagnosing more than 550 patients, often prescribing treatment for cancer that they did not have. He earned more than $17 million as a result.
Dr. Fata pounced on every opportunity to use a patient's body as a profit center.
One of the patients, 53-year-old Monica Flagg.
Stressful. It was extremely emotional.
In 2000,
we begin with that breaking.
Man. This is just one. This is just one guy out of what's really going on out here in this world. The fact that he just did this to people that was living. Just imagine what he did to the people once they passed away. This dude definitely went and started selling certain things. If he was that fixated, like she said, with human bodies, to make 17 million, he made another 17 million another way. This is some of the most disgusting things ever. Like, that's why And it's messed up because he was doing this to every race you can think of. Black, white, Asian, whoever probably came and sat down, he lied to them. 553 people who possibly lost their life. And he only received 45 years. Look, I'm not no big fan of wishing jail on anybody. They need to free that man and let somebody real handle him, because out of the 1,500, probably 2,000 people that he's seen, and out of the 500 families that he's traumatized, there's somebody in that family that's crazy enough to handle justice the right way, and then that's basically like an eye for an eye. $17 million, all because you're faxated and misdiagnosing people on purpose. That just shows. That's why I be telling you, like, this, it'd be a money thing. Like a lot of COVID situations, like you could have went in there just with a simple code. COVID. I heard of people going into the doctor doing a whole COVID situation because they had a bruised elbow and they told them they had COVID. Like, I just elbowed my TV. It's COVID. The TV had COVID. You could walk in there and be like, oh my God, I jammed my finger. I was playing basketball. The basketball floor had COVID. So they had, yep, you got it. So you got to pay for this treatment. It'd be a money thing, man. Like, come on, y'all. Like, it makes sense the more you look into it. I'm telling you.
There is something so eerie about this submarine going missing. Like, for starters, why were these people charged $250,000 a ticket? Why are there fraud charges against OceanGate that no one even has been talking about? Why did the man who tried to tell them almost 3 years ago that this submarine was not safe get fired, and they still went on this exploration? The Titan submersible submarine went missing 1 hour and 45 minutes into its 8-day exploration. There are 5 people aboard. 3 are believed to be billionaires and millionaires, and then there's the co-pilot and a content creator. Apparently, the machine or submarine was supposed to free fall to the bottom of the North Finland Ocean and actually view the wreckage of the Titanic. Now, if you know anything about the wreckage of the Titanic, then you know it's 12,500 feet at the bottom of this ocean. Also, the wreckage is not in one spot. It's actually broken up and it's 220,000 meters apart, which means these people can be here, here, or here. I just think it's insane because at this point, we only have explored 3% of the ocean. So what in someone's right mind says, hey, let's take a 22-foot long submarine with one glass hole where we can see out of, window, and we can't even open it from the outside. Right? Because even if they have gone somewhere in the middle of the Finland Ocean and they have popped up, they cannot get out. This submarine only opens from the outside. And then OceanGate is already sketchy as fuck. They have things going all the way back to 2017 where they have actually been charged with fraud and discrimination charges against a man who worked for them and tried to tell them that this machine was not safe. They fired him. I can only think, how can they not find this submarine? I mean, these people are billionaires. Use their money. Use their family's money. Where's the Navy? Why is it that the Coast Guard and local agencies are the only people looking? I don't know. It's recently been updated that today is Tuesday, right? They only had 96 hours of air. They have heard on a sonar Doppler that someone is doing, or something, they've heard tapping every 30 minutes in intervals. If you ask me, I think it's Morse code. There is a captain amongst this ship, and I'm sure he's been trained for this. So my thing is, if you hear all this, no one's even been down there. They haven't sent a single rescue ship down there. These people have no food, no water. They're running out of air. They have nowhere for their waste to go. I'm sure they're sick by now from the pressure. There's vomit, feces, amongst everything, and fear. What is going on? There is something so eerie about this.
Even though they end up finding a wreckage and they confirmed it supposedly, I still think that was just pretty weird that these folks was millionaires and billionaires, and it took them that long just to figure out if they was down there or not. But every 30-minute interval, he tapped. And I feel like that if that doesn't show some type of organization, like every 30 minutes I'm going to tap so they know, like, it's somebody aboard who's possibly doing this, but they waited till they was out of this world to finally find them the next day when they've ran out of oxygen. That just doesn't make sense to me.
How old are you, Fata? 10. You're in the double digits world? It's like really important.
Pizza?
Pizza parties with pop stars often? No. Okay.
I eat children.
Oh.
How old are you?
12.
12.
Oh, okay. Only to 10.
Only
Okay, that's good.
Her parties are incredible at her house, too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza,
Wonderful pizza.
We've had pizza. Girl after my own heart. Do we love a pizza or what? We love a pizza. It's so much fun.
How old are you, Fata?
I said it's so much fun.
Y'all know that starting September 1st, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to get food stamps no more. Watch this video to the end.
Starting September 1st.
SNAP recipients ages 18 to 50 who don't work or volunteer 20 hours a week could lose benefits.
This is literally just an excuse to take food out of people's bellies. First, the groceries are already high as hell. And in order to get food stamps, you can't make too much money. So the government is going to force people to work, make too much money. Now you really can't get food stamps. They're literally sending billions to Ukraine.
Of course.
And we can't even get food stamps. The American citizens. This government do not care about their citizens. And y'all keep wondering, what are we striking for? What are we striking for? Do y'all see the shit that I'm seeing? They are price gouging. There is no reason why a 1-bedroom apartment should be fucking $2,000.
2,000, literally.
And people are getting paid pennies.
200 square feet. Man, $2,000 with 200 square feet. It's $1,000 per 100 square feet. Telling you. Yeah. This is pretty crazy. Another crazy episode, I personally feel like. You know, like I tell you, I love doing these compilations, man. If y'all want a chance and for a shout out in my next video, I know I say this a lot and y'all don't be hearing me do shout outs because a lot of people don't really send me videos like that. I really find them on my own, or I try to, you know, the people that I do give shout outs really send me. So if y'all want to even email me videos, that would be highly appreciated. I'm telling y'all, I appreciate the love and the support, and I'll see y'all later.